It's beautiful, right? We're finally here and we have the first part, the first phase is open.
Quebec's largest public transit project in decades, the Réseau Express Métropolitaine, or the REM, will be inaugurated Friday. 5 out of the 26 stations are ready to go, linking the city's South Shore to downtown.
Montreal just inaugurated what is possibly the most futuristic and modern transit in North America. And living an hour away, I couldn't pass up the chance to check it out firsthand.
Oh look, it's beautiful. There's a new subway line. Well, it's not really a subway, it's the REM, and it's a light metro in Montreal, and we're gonna take the first trip.
For politicians at the ribbon cutting, it was an historic day for public transit in Quebec. This new light rail, or REM line, runs from Brossard on the South Shore across the Champlain Bridge to downtown Montreal. During rush hour, the drive can be up to an hour. The trains do it in 18 minutes.
I was surprised to see how fast it is, and I hope that people that be stuck in the traffic, that it will be a big incentive to go and join the REM.
I live in Brossard and I work in the city, so it's gonna be great.
It's crazy that we're all gonna be connected.
It's really a fantastic thing for Montreal. Very, very excited.
By 2027, the full 67-kilometer or 42-mile system should be open, matching the full length of the existing Montreal Metro and doubling the amount of rapid transit in the city. 1.1 million people will live within 3 kilometers of a station, and that's not even considering all of the potential to build new density near stations.
I'm super excited because finally, after 40 years, we have an extension to our transit in Montreal. We're really leading in North America. A smart project, makes a lot of sense, connects a lot of different municipalities across the Montreal region. So yeah, very excited to see this project get open today.
It will be fully automated, electrified, and grade separated. At peak times, it's expected to run every 2.5 minutes on the downtown section.
Dang. 2.5 minutes?
2.5.
The REM is characterized by its high-frequency service. On the central segment, trains will circulate every 2.5 minutes during peak hours and every 5 minutes outside of peak hours. This frequency could ultimately be increased to every 90 seconds at some point in the future, depending on ridership volume.
You will never wait for a train.
I feel like you could just look down and a train would appear.
This is just sort of a very groundbreaking project. It's kind of the future of what rapid transportation could and should look like in the United States and Canada and the world probably.
I'm speechless. It's really good. It's spacious. It's fully autonomous. There's no drivers. You can just sit in the front and watch the view.
It's very convenient in my opinion. And the fact that it's going to go to the airport in 2027, I think it's going to be a game changer for Montreal.
On Friday, July 28th, the ribbon cutting and inaugural ride of the REM was held. On Saturday and Sunday, there was an open house for the REM where the public was able to ride the REM and explore the stations for free. Over the weekend, more than 120,000 people rode the REM, showing how much interest there is for the project and transit in general.
Here is Gare Centrale, which is massive and beautiful.
Central Station in the heart of downtown Montreal.
While this is the current northern terminus of the line, the REM will be extended with 3 under-construction branches.
The other types of trains that this station serves, there's a Via Rail train.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Doesn't get more new for me than this, man.
There used to be tracks here, and then you had these beams, these X-beams, like separating the 2 tracks.
This platform is ludicrously wide because it's multiple tracks that they took out to build this huge thing. I love these benches.
And here's your doors as well.
My favorite station amenity is the platform edge doors, which keep riders safe, keep tracks clear, and help the temperature control inside the stations.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
So far, so good.
First impressions, everything is clean, everything is modern. Speaking of clean and modern, look who just showed up to the party.
Oh, there's a train.
It's coming. There it is.
Wow. Oh, wow. Here we go, guys.
Look how pretty that is.
Wow. See, there's that brand new train smell.
Wow. What? Was that part of it, or that's just the first trip? That play yesterday?
That is part of it.
Okay.
This is cool.
Whoa. Oh, look at this. This is definitely brand new. You get the new train smell.
Bienvenue à bord du REM. Once on board the train, there was a noticeable excitement and the ride started with a cheer.
Direction A1. Brossard. Prochaine station, Île-des-Soeurs.
And here we go, on the way to Brossard.
It's like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah. It's like we're in New York.
Unlike many subway systems around the world, the Montreal Metro is entirely underground. The REM will give Montrealers a vastly different riding experience.
One other benefit of Montreal's network, the amount of natural light, allowing for great views from the side, and the company requested the manufacturer build panoramic windows up front.
Look at that, there's downtown.
Whoa! Oh boy, I'm already liking this.
Yeah, this is very impressive so far. This is really something.
I don't even feel like I'm in my own city.
Now, immediately right off the bat, the thing I'm noticing is these things are fast. We're already well out of Montreal Central Station and on our way to Île-des-Soeurs, and we're going at a pretty good speed. I'm quite impressed with this.
This is amazing, man. I know I'm not from here. It's a coincidence that I've been here in Montreal for 3 days, and the REM is opening this weekend. This is a long time coming for Montreal. Oh, this is neat. We are flying high. That's the Lachine Canal, I believe.
Particularly when running next to mainline trains and traveling over the Lachine Canal, I sort of felt like we were in Amsterdam. It was epic.
It's actually really cool seeing a green and effective mode of transportation gliding through the sky. And actually riding one of these trains is pretty darn nice. The view coming into the city is something you just don't get in a tunnel.
Wow, what a view of the skyline. That's nuts. I can't believe how amazing this is.
That's a very nice skyline right there. Downtown Montreal.
This is so pretty. I keep saying it, but like, oh my gosh, look at all this new housing.
The Montreal skyline sure is growing. I would say about half those towers were not finished when I moved here 4 years ago. Things are changing quick in this city. No hands, very smooth.
It's so smooth.
The interior design is simple and reminds me of a refreshed version of the Montreal Metro.
That's cool. A zone reservey.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Really well marked priority seating. This is really cool. So this is like the stroller bike luggage zone, like this little space here.
This is going to go to the airport eventually.
That's a good point. The system map kind of shows, here's the bit that's open now. That's all that's going to be open later.
It's breathtaking. You get such a wonderful view. The ride is comfortable.
I gotta say, this is breathtaking. I'm so glad I came out here with you guys.
We're excited. I was telling the kids that we're making history today. Like the opening of the metro back in the 60s, we feel like we're part of something.
Yeah, mainly I want her to see, and experience it. We live in Nans Island, so that's gonna be mostly our routine. So I want her to kind of experience it on first day.
Approaching Île-des-Soeurs station, we passed the 5:30 train from Brossard and waved to the transit fans at the front window. Some of them had come all the way from the US.
I'm very curious how busy this train will be.
It's literally packed.
Wave to them. It's freeze! Yay! Oh, it's just packed in the front. It's just boomers.
We arrive on Nuns Island at another beautiful station before my favorite part of the ride.
Okay, this is Île-des-Soeurs. What?
Île-des-Soeurs. Île-des-Soeurs station sits just north of Champlain Bridge. The two side platforms features white tiling, ticket machines, benches, next train arrival screens, and of course, platform screen doors.
Would you look at that? Working displays. That is wonderful. This is a clean station. I like this. This is cool.
Oh, this is cool. Little pedestrian area. Bike racks.
Champlain there for the bike lane. What's your building here?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like just so perfectly in the neighborhood. Like, I think this is going to turn into a great neighborhood.
Okay, we just started moving and we're about to cross the St. Lawrence River. Check this out.
Before you know it, we're flying over the Champlain Bridge, continuing to overtake traffic, especially during rush hour.
You can get a nice idea of how fast we're going. Because we are passing them as well.
Oh, now we're flying here. Oh, it's waving. Wow. Yep.
Pause the sign. Welcome REM users.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Montreal looks like Hong Kong from here. It's incredible.
Beautiful view of Montreal right there. You know what? I gotta say, I'm not just impressed, I'm blown away. This is the future of train travel, city train travel.
Panama. Panama.
Wait a second. This isn't Central America.
Continuing south is Panama Station, which has the orange tiles and benches. There's also an extremely large bus terminal to handle the many different bus routes which will be terminating there.
Panama is going to be huge.
This is a really big bus transfer.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, this is fun. Look at this tunnel.
This one has by far the best bike parking. Just on a line in this huge tunnel. This depressing space right now will eventually be artwork.
REM Wi-Fi. Hey, look, we have Wi-Fi. Boom, connected, just like that. That is what I like to see, Montreal. That's what I like to see.
Hello, bonjour, bienvenue.
Beautiful. I mean, you know, we started going and I thought to myself, my God, I don't feel like we're in Montreal. We come out of the tunnel after a couple of minutes. I said we're in Japan or something, you know. This is what it's like.
There's the Montreal Canadiens Practice Center.
Oh, the McDonald's poutine.
Amazing how much this area has blown up over the years.
Second last one on the line.
This is something I was excited about. This is a crappy median highway station, but it's not crappy because the platform screen doors.
You can hear the traffic noise, but it's
Yeah.
not like Chicago or something where it's like...
Yeah. And this will be warm in the winter because it's enclosed.
Quartier station has similar features as the other REM stations, but it feels much larger, with two of its entrances straddling the highway.
Yeah, another nice modern station.
Yeah, I think this is the coolest station architecturally. We got these beautiful, well-lit walkways.
Quartier. Heard this is a cool spot, so we'll check it out. Okay, this is going to be amazing once this is all open. It's already a pretty great connection. So the connections from this complex and this apartment, it's all inside. In the winter, you don't have to step outside at all.
Some residents will be able to travel from home to downtown and back without ever having to go outside, thanks to the REM's connection with the underground city and metro.
Look at the outside of this station. It's beautiful.
And I'll tell you, the more I take this train, the more I'm loving it.
Prochaine station, Brossard.
But that's the heart and the brains of the REM right there.
Brossard Station is a very nice terminal station.
Give up the fanfare.
I love the... All right, first round, well, not first round trip, but yeah.
Wow. Lots of natural light here.
Brossard has a third platform which will allow trains to go out of service at Brossard, as the maintenance facility is right after the station.
They're trying to pull out more trains. They're getting into peak time.
So the trains come out of the yard without it. Like, they don't even need a person to bring them out.
Yeah, that was completely automated. It's amazing. Wow, there are like 50,000 buses up here. And we'll go to the toilet.
This is amazing, guys. So glad I got to ride it.
I have Billy here with me. He rode the REM for the very first time. Billy, how was your experience?
It was an absolutely amazing experience, one of the best I've ever had on transit anywhere in the world. It feels like being a part of history of this city, this province, this country. I just want to see so many more projects like this all over.
Work continues to finish the entire network, connecting downtown Montreal to the West Island and Laval by 2024, to the airport by 2027.
I've been obsessed with the REM for a long time. When we're on the 40 in the West Island, we always pass by the REM. There's a station near my school, near my house, so it's just been very intriguing for me.
Man, that's going to be so cool. Like next year could be going to, you know, out to the end of the West Island on the REM.
The one I'm most excited for, coming in the not too distant future, straight to the airport.
I'm personally very excited for the airport section of it, because which city does not need a strong, fast connection to the airport?
People who come in from the airport, right? And it's like their first experience in Montreal will be getting on the REM to go downtown.
Instead of a 747.
As a traveler, I can tell you one thing. There's nothing that makes a better first impression than a modern train system directly from the airport. It shows people like this is a city that gets things done. Exciting times for the city of Montreal.
Due to the ambitious scope of the project, and the fact that it's actually getting built, the REM is the best thing to happen to transit in Montreal in a long time. With its coverage and speeds, the REM is aiming to unlock regional trips too, like the West Island to downtown or the South Shore to the airport.
Right now, it doesn't look like a whole lot. This is the Boulevard Edouard Montpetit metro station for the Blue Line metro. Right under us is the already built Montréal tunnel. This will become a station to the REM. The new REM train is going to be so drastic of a change for the citizens here that instead of taking a 20-minute metro ride to get to downtown, it is a 5-minute ride.
I think there might be some kind of delay.
They did have a problem right at rush hour, which is really not what you want on the first day of service, but it seemed like they got the trains running again an hour later. And I think since then it's been pretty solid.
In the first 880 hours of service, the REM has had a spectacular 99% service reliability rate.
Oh, they've got the day one interviews already. This is not getting good coverage.
Montreal's new light rail network passes through Griffintown, and residents of condo buildings that line the track have been complaining about the noise.
Our summer activities have now become indoors. We can't open our doors and windows. Oh, sorry, hang on a second, here it comes.
Manel and Eddie moved to Griffintown in April 2022, knowing the REM was coming.
We have to now move. We are actively looking for somewhere else to live.
It's almost like a plane is approaching. It's almost like a plane. So to adapt my sleep, or to try to at least get some sleep, what I've been doing is actually using 2 earplugs. I keep a fan on full speed for ambient noise, as well as using a pillow to cover my head, and you can still hear the trains coming by.
It's one of those things, it's such a weird, we cannot build transportation infrastructure for the city because I sleep with my window open.
Yeah.
And it's just, ugh.
I think people watching should know this is a real person that we're talking about who frequently complains because they sleep with their window open. You're like, oh, I mean, what are you going to do? If you sleep with your window open and you're on a road, you would have a problem.
The REM is a very bad project. It will destroy our neighborhoods.
Elevated trains will crush, disfigure, and fracture our neighborhoods under a behemoth of concrete and steel, harming the physical, psychological, and mental health of citizens. That's according to an environmentalist group in eastern Montreal that took part in a successful fight against a transit project that would have brought fast, frequent, and modern trains to underserved neighborhoods of the city. In 2020, the infrastructure arm of Quebec's public pension fund, which was financing and building the REM, announced a sequel, the Eastern REM, a 32-kilometer or 20-mile system bringing the same automated trains to the city's east end. 800,000 people would live within 3 kilometers of a station, but with construction of the REM underway, the Eastern proposal attracted attention and controversy, focusing on the elevated sections. Critics claimed that elevated rail would crush, disfigure, and fracture the residential and industrial neighborhoods in the East End, and it was common to say that the elevated connection downtown would be a scar through the central city, where it would ruin this 8-lane boulevard. In the end, the provincial and city governments canceled the project as it was, saying that it didn't have social acceptability and that elevated trains would be a historic mistake. But we think it's the opposite, and Montreal's historic mistake is shelving the project.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. You're like, there was polling done that showed that there was general Montreal-wide support, but that was all ignored. Like, did I need to fucking go march around with a sign like these dickbags, you know, this sign, and say like, I want it? Do these people look like they care about transit? Their poster has got cars on it being oppressed by transit. It's like they're not environmentalists. They just don't want sound and shadows, you know?
When we said the Eastern REM was shelved, it wasn't exactly cancelled. It was taken out of the hands of the CDPQ, the public pension fund owned by the government that was managing the project, and given to the traditional transit authorities in the city to come up with a new plan. That plan recently came out and it's astonishing. They proposed going further into the suburbs, but eliminating the connection to downtown, overall covering about 200,000 fewer people. This would also require anyone traveling from the East End to downtown to transfer onto the slower and often crowded Green Line of the Metro. They proposed the wild idea of fully tunneling through the lower density and often industrial East End of Montreal. The cost of the project has also ballooned from the original $10 billion to the enormous sum of $36 billion. $36 billion. The Premier of Quebec said the figure basically made him choke on his coffee.
These
idiots.
When they got told $36 billion, their head should have caught on fire. They should have been like, "Oh my god!"
But wasn't there a news article about the mayor's take on this?
Yeah, she's excited. I'm excited. It's like, well, you shouldn't be excited. This will never happen. Like, this report to me seems like a waste of time.
We don't really know what's going to happen next. With costs that high, maybe the project has been effectively canceled for a generation at least. Maybe they'll manage to come up with a new proposal that's more feasible. Maybe we can beg the CDPQ to take the project back on.
It's tempting to say, like, hand it back to the case. I would obviously prefer that, just because it's the better of two options.
Talk about burying the downtown leg, I guess, and say, like, government, if you want to take that risk, the government can take that risk, and they could even build part of the project, and the CDPQ could build the other part or something.
The biggest problem with the REM de l'Est when it was proposed was that they hadn't opened the first REM yet, so they didn't have this, like, weight of the public going like, "Oh, I want that." You can just tell that, like, in time, people will be like, "Oh, what the why didn't they, what? What was the issue again? The viaducts? Who gives a about that?" We're getting nothing, and there is something that could exist.
And hey, support the first REM, vote with your feet.
Terminus. Merci d'avoir voyagé à bord du REM aujourd'hui.
Well, this was definitely one of the high points of my year. Really, I mean, how cool is that? Big step into the future.
And then it was time to say goodbye to this beautiful city that I love so much.
Bye. Thank you for the help with the French.
I'm part of the demographic that doesn't live in the city or the suburbs, and I dislike traveling by car in urban areas. The REM will definitely be my go-to method.
In conclusion, the REM is a truly world-class metro system being built at a rapid speed. It's a huge project that will likely influence the future of transit in Montreal and North America for the better.
I cannot believe that we've built this, and I'm so happy. It really puts Montreal on the map in terms of best transit systems in North America and across the world. It's hard to contain my excitement, to be honest.